Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us today. We are going on a really fascinating, kind of forensic journey through the entire life cycle of a carpet floor. We're going to examine the whole shebang, from the bare wood and hidden hardware holding it all together, to the tiny installation flaws that can absolutely ruin a room, all the way down to the fine print of a so-called lifetime warranty. If you've ever walked across a carpeted room and wondered what's actually going on beneath your feet, well, you are definitely in for a treat.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, the hidden carpet foundation. Second, anatomy of a bad seam. Third, diagnosing installation flaws. Fourth, the lifetime warranty catch. And fifth, protecting your investment.
Section 1, the hidden carpet foundation. What holds it down? So think about a beautifully carpeted room. It looks totally seamless and permanent, right? But what actually holds your carpet down? You'd probably think it's glued down with some heavy-duty industrial adhesive or maybe custom-fitted at a factory. But the reality? It's a lot more physical, surprisingly simple, and honestly, remarkably inexpensive. It all comes down to a system of hidden hardware running right along the perimeter of your room. If we pull up actual inventory data from Home Depot, it's pretty wild. The literal foundation of your expensive floor relies on everyday hardware that is just dirt cheap. You've got Halleck's poplar wood tack strips, which, by the way, are literally just strips of wood with sharp upward-facing pins, costing under $5 for a 3-pack. Need to secure things even more? Ever-built black carpet tacks will run you less than $3 for a 17-pack. Even the peel and stick options from Roberts are under $6. So the crazy takeaway here is that a flooring investment worth thousands of dollars is completely anchored by just a few bucks worth of wood and sharp metal.
Section 2. Anatomy of a bad seam. When things go wrong.
To really understand how this foundation works, let's look at a real-world scenario where things went south. A homeowner recently posted to the r/flooring subreddit in a bit of a panic. The user, Neatband2783, was asking the community for advice on a brand new carpet installation. They mentioned it was a less expensive carpet, but right down the middle of their high-traffic hallway, there was this highly visible, bumpy seam. They asked a question we've all probably asked ourselves during a home project. Am I being too fussy in considering this to not be a great fit?
This is a classic expectations versus reality moment. Ideally, a perfect seam is just one tight, virtually invisible line right where the two pieces of carpet meet. You shouldn't even know it's there. But what this user was dealing with was a completely botched seam. Instead of that tight line, they were looking at a massive, 4-inch wide track of peaking, creasing, and cupping running straight down their hallway.
Section 3. Installation flaws. Diagnosing the problem.
Let's treat this botched seam like a crime scene for a second. We can use the Reddit community's crowdsourced forensics to figure out exactly what went wrong. One highly experienced user immediately spotted a very common culprit. They pointed out that installers use a specialized hot iron to melt seam tape together. But if the installer overheats that iron, or if they just drag it too slowly across the floor, that excess heat can actually warp and damage the carpet's secondary backing. And that causes lasting, visible ripples on the surface that will literally never lay flat again.
But wait, there's a second, equally compelling theory from the community. Somebody suggested that a wide 6-inch seam tape might have been used, and as it cooled down, it cupped underneath, creating this weird double peak on either side of the joint. Or they suggested a much deeper structural issue. Basically, a physical bump or some unevenness in the wooden subfloor beneath the house could be transferring straight up through the padding and the carpet, casting harsh shadows right under the hallway lighting.
And then we have diagnosis number 3, a simple lack of proper stretching. To prevent bubbling, carpet has to be stretched incredibly tight. Pros use tools like the Roberts Power Stretcher. Now, according to Home Depot's rental data, this beast of a tool can stretch carpet across a room up to 38 feet using extension tubes. And the kicker? Renting it only costs about $38 a day. If an installer skips the power stretcher just to save a little time, the upper layers of the carpet won't pull tight against the seam tape, and boom, you are left with permanent ripples.
Section 4. The lifetime warranty catch. Read the fine print.
Okay, so let's say you survived the installation. You hired an awesome pro, they used the power stretcher, and the floor looks absolutely flawless. What happens when you need to actually rely on your carpet's lifetime warranty? I mean, lifetime sounds completely bulletproof, right? It gives you this great peace of mind. But if we look closely at the fine print from a major retailer's warranty document, like this one from Floors to Go, the reality is a little different. Sure, the warranty covers stain, soil, and abrasive wear for the lifetime of the carpet.
However, the labor to replace the carpet is only covered for the first 5 years. That means if your carpet fails in year 6, they might hand you some new carpet fiber, but the actual cost to rip up the old floor and install the new one, that is 100% on you.
And it actually gets even deeper when you look at how they legally define wear. The warranty protects against abrasive wear, which they define strictly as actual fiber loss of more than 10%. But the fine print explicitly states that abrasive wear is not changes in appearance, such as crushing or matting down. So if your heavy living room sofa or that heavy dining table crushes the carpet and leaves deep, permanent leg impressions, or if your high-traffic hallway just looks totally flat and matted down over time, yeah, the warranty absolutely does not cover that.
Section 5. Protecting your investment. Keep your floor covered.
So knowing about all these crazy loopholes, how do you actually keep your floor covered? Well, to keep this warranty completely intact and legally binding, you, the homeowner, are required to follow a very rigid survival guide of obligations. It literally starts on day 1. You have to install the carpet using a suitable pad with a specific thickness of 7/16 of an inch or less. If your pad is even a tiny bit too thick, warranty void. Second, you have to keep your original proof of purchase, the bill, invoice, or statement, forever. And third, you can't just run a vacuum over it. You are contractually obligated to pay for a certified professional cleaning service every 18 months, and you better keep those receipts too.
You also have to be incredibly careful about what you drop on it because that lifetime stain warranty comes with a very strict list of exclusions. Common household disasters like spilled bleaches, insecticides, paints, shoe polish, iodine, or even plant food will instantly void your stain coverage. Seriously, if your dog knocks over a potted plant you just fed, or you accidentally drop a shoe polishing brush, you are completely on your own.
So, all of this poses a pretty vital question. Are you truly prepared for the hidden costs, the installation risks, and the incredibly strict ongoing upkeep required for a supposedly cheap carpet? As one Reddit user so wisely noted while looking at that botched hallway seam, you don't necessarily get what you pay for, but you definitely pay for what you get. From the $3 tack strips holding it all together, to those mandatory 18-month professional cleanings, a carpet is basically a living, breathing system in your home. So, are you ready to take on the true lifetime cost of your floor? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep asking questions, always read that fine print, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.